The wait is over. Dive into Audible's most anticipated collection, The Best of 2025, featuring top audiobooks, podcasts, and originals across all genres. Our editors have carefully curated this year's must-listens, from brilliant hidden gems to the buzziest new releases. Every title in this collection has earned its spot. This is your go-to for the absolute best in 2025 audio entertainment. Whether you love thrillers, romance, or nonfiction, your next favorite listen awaits. Discover why there's more to imagine when you listen at audible.com/bestoftheyear.
Shopify's point of sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. Need a fast and secure way to take payments in person? We've got you covered. How about card readers you can rely on anywhere you sell?
Thanks, have a good one.
Yep, that too. Want one place to manage all your online and in-person sales? That's kind of our thing. Wherever you sell, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.
Website, digital marketing, and I can also say internet website marketing. Because when you're on the internet, it's digital, and when it's digital, it's online. So website, internet, digital marketing, however you're going to put it, versus search engine optimization, which is also SEO marketing for businesses. Welcome to a new episode. And also a new conversation that we're going to have that's going to help you as a business owner, as a promoter, as a marketer, to intentionally create moments that you can build with businesses that you can serve and people you can serve, whether it's B2B or B2C, which is business to business or business to consumer. This is a great place to build and to create more over time. So I'm excited that I'm here with you today because welcome Susan, Shivan, Seta, Franklin. Thank you for being here. And if you have a pink ticket, at the very top, there's a marketing club. You can always click on that link and it will take you to this house. We have 352.6K members here as a leader in the marketing club. So I'm excited that I'm always here with you to give you some insight. So what is website marketing? What is digital marketing? What is internet marketing? And also, what is SEO marketing? And why are they so different? And why could they not be the same? Because there are so many components about it that I want us to discuss. So, website marketing or internet marketing, digital marketing, when you look at the internet as a whole, right? A website, which is a world wide web. Website marketing is the entire ecosystem of the existence of your product, your service, or your profile, or anything that falls in between those lines. So when you think about website marketing, it's not just one thing. SEO is one of the things that you consider when you have website marketing. Because when you use website marketing for email marketing, right? You use website marketing for social media marketing. You use your website marketing for advertising. You're running ads. Whatever that marketing looks like. Welcome, Jim. Whatever advertising that looks like, those specific advertising strategies will involve a website somewhere, either yours or somebody else's, right? So the website ecosystem is large. There are over 1 billion websites, so approximately about 1.1 billion websites globally. And not every one of those websites gets to be seen or indexed or processed because Google has a way of scanning, processing, and making sure that your products are seen, they're heard, they're remembered, they're clicked, they're linked to, they're linked from. These are things that are very important that we have to think about. And when we start thinking about this, the first thing that you start having to process, at least from the beginning, is where do I want to be seen and where do I want to build, right? That goes for commercial, that goes for residential, that goes for anything that you're doing with intention, right? And when you think about this, I would say definitely do research. And when you do your research, think about your business as the beacon of light for anything that you want to put a light on. When it comes to messaging, when it comes to psychology of marketing that involves color, font, style, texture, cadence, whatever it is that you want to paint, it's your brush, right? So when you create a digital marketing campaign or a digital marketing business, or you're building your business with your website, majorly what you're doing is you're creating an experience for the next person. So when you have a website, your website is, welcome Ms. M. When you have a website, your website is the place that people discover your products or they discover your services. Welcome, John. When they discover these things, right, they're discovering them for the purpose of creating relevance once they need you, or once they ask for it, or once they're prepared, or once it's available. So when you create an experience, welcome Stephanie, you create an experience for people by adding value to their day, by creating content for them to watch. I talked about the amount of time people spend, right, before. And I was mentioning, and I'll say it again, on average is about 35 hours that's spent a month on Instagram. 35 hours a month is spent on Instagram. That's a lot of hours compared to Pinterest, which is about 1.5 hours. And Pinterest has a much higher I would say, purchasing power than social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, because Pinterest is more of a visual search engine and Facebook, Instagram is a social media platform. So when you're looking at these websites are also marketing what? They're marketing community. They're marketing, groups. They're marketing pages. They're marketing advertising. They're marketing community. So these websites are also creating that experience for their own visitors, right? When you have a website, there are two types of visitors that you will always have. You'll always have new visitors and you will always have returning visitors. Those two will keep coming back and forth. So you may have more new visitors than returning. You may have more returning than new. It depends on you. So when you create on those tactics, those measurements, those metrics, you're able to use your website and say, okay, I want to do website marketing, not just for the fact that I want to show up online, but because I want people to find me credible. I want them to find me resourceful. I want them to find me trustworthy. I want them to find me accessible. And that shouldn't be hard to do, right? So that creates the resemblance of now bringing SEO into the mix. Because when you send out an email, when you run an ad, when you send out a message, when you do something online, when you post a video, post a podcast, post a blog, post a newsletter, post something, when you post that thing, it's going to resonate with someone somewhere. And that is marketing in itself, because you're expressing concern, or you're expressing desire, or you're expressing awareness. You're expressing something that someone's going to feel and listen to and want to keep watching or reading, because what you're saying is making sense to them. So when you now have SEO in mind, why SEO is different from website marketing is when you have website marketing, welcome Unique. When you have website marketing, it's the entire ecosystem. That involves your name, address, phone number. In other words, your name, which is your business name, your address, which could be your in-store brick and mortar location, or your online store virtual web address, or you could have another address that could be focusing on maybe something specific that may not be connected to what you're doing, maybe as I'll say like a different third party, extension. That's if you need that. But those are the things that you're going to be looking through. It could be a PO box. It could be something very specific. It could be something very minute. That's one way to look at it. And then you also have your domain. right? Which is very important too. Your domain is big, because your domain is your actual address. Even though it's your virtual web address, there's going to be a / somewhere. There's going to be a .com somewhere. There's going to be some type of pathway that's going to allow them to access your content, right? Even if it's on an Instagram platform or a TikTok platform. If I send you a link to watch this TikTok video or this Instagram video, it's a link I'm going to send you. If I make a typo on that link and I send it to you, you're not going to access that link because that link is broken. So the link has a direct response to the content that you've produced because it's sourced by a link. So when you have a website, that website has a link, and that website link is what people are going to use to either advertise, promote, share, comment, like, whatever it is it could be. So these are the specific things that you have to think about as a business. So I wanted to break down a few things for you today, and I put them in about 4 ways. I may make it 5 because I want to just break this down for you to see. When you think about website marketing, especially for digital marketing, the first thing to really think about is have a sure and prepared target audience, because everyone has a website, but not everyone's website is going to be seen, right? So when you have a website, that website is going to be used for a purpose. That purpose is very important, because when somebody comes to your website, they're coming with the intention of making a purchase or making an inquiry or making fill in the blank or making a call, however you want to put it. There's so many options available, right? Now, that call to action that you want them to do, either call you or leave a message or request or something. All those things that you're going to tell them to do are things that they would have to process based on the marketing that you have delivered. So I can say the same thing twice, but you'll probably hear 2 different ways when I say it in 2 different, I would say, context pieces, but it's going to the same thing, right? If I say, for example, buy this strawberry because you need strawberries, you'd be like, okay, that doesn't sound right. I mean, I do need strawberries, but that's not really what's going to grab my attention. It's just there. I mean, it's the same thing with strawberries. So you said, grab my strawberries. So you can grab the strawberries because you're looking at it and it's telling you and it's pointing at it. You could get them or not. You may not like strawberries. You may like strawberries, but would you like that one? We don't know, right? Now, if you've seen that, you're already thinking about what has been said. So marketing wise, thought wise, process wise, you're like, should I not? And most times people spend between 1 to 7 seconds to make a decision on what they want to purchase or not when it comes to shopping, right? So when people are shopping, they're processing, and when they're processing, they're planning. I can use this for this, I can use this for that, I can do this for this, I can do this for that. So when people are processing those things, they're also thinking about the outcome of why they're getting that. So if they're going to create that experience for themselves, then the real question now would be, am I going to get these strawberries because I need them or because I want them? Now, if you saw another, let's say you went to another place and you saw the strawberries and the strawberries, the sign says, did you know that you can actually get more vitamin C with strawberries than you can with oranges? You'd be like, huh? Oh, maybe. Is that true? Okay, let me check. Let me ask ChatGPT. Let me ask Siri. Let me ask Google. Let me ask my friend. Let me ask someone somewhere. You're going to ask that question, or you're going to know the answer already. And then you would decide, okay, yeah, that's true. And then maybe you'll see like fresh, organic produce. And then you click it, or if you're at the store, you pick it. Whatever you do, click or pick. Either way, whatever has happened is as a result of what you have processed from the marketing message you have received. So when you look back into website marketing, and you look into digital marketing, your marketing is going to have a heavy based focus on messaging. And that's where SEO is involved, because everyone can do website marketing. Everyone can have a website. There are 1.1 billion websites. So definitely everyone can have a website. But is your website being seen? Is it being clicked on? Is it being scanned through? Is it being read through? Is it being clicked through? That's the real question. And you're paying for this website every year or every other year. So either way, you might as well use it for something that's going to be helping you gain momentum, because every year your website should be gaining more in traffic, gaining more in relevance, and gaining more in sustainability. If it's doing the opposite, then that means you need to check your SEO, because your website marketing may not be as strong, because website marketing involves communication, right? You send an email, you post something online, you share a post. It's website marketing. You're out there. You have a profile. It's free. You're doing what you need to do, right? You're creating that experience. Now, when you're doing that and you're creating that experience, you might say, okay, with this website marketing, let me analyze this. Let me put analytics. Let me start understanding my audience. Because when you start understanding your audience, because the first one I mentioned is targeting your audience and the right audience that's coming in, using analytics will tell you what to do. So website marketing is on one side of the fence, or one side of the cup, or one side of the plate. Is when you look at website marketing, look at it as though it is where you're going to position your product online or your service. And then when you look at SEO marketing, look at it as how you're going to design the product. And when you design the product, it's based on presentation, right? Do you want to use a fork and a knife? Do you want to use a spoon? Do you want to use serviette? Do you want to use napkins? Do you want to use paper towels? Do you want to use paper cloths? Do you want to use fill in the blank? So you decide how you present that thing, because everything I've said, paper cloth, all these are different keywords, right? And all that is SEO. So if I like napkins, then I may like that. If I like red velvet cake, then I might like that specifically. So you might like carrot cake, somebody else might like cheesecake. So I may not get your result. But what I see there is designed for the purpose of the messaging. So website marketing is big, it's broad. You can use it, right? And even on WebGuide, I saw something and I was like, this is really cool. And I wanted to just mention this to you. WebGuide meant something which was very exciting to see. And there was a expression that was, done with WebGuide. And WebGuide technically talked about like having your website like a truck. And when you have your website like a truck, SEO is going to be like that engine that's going to move it. And I'm paraphrasing it, because when you think about SEO and the core functionality of that specific task, it's to create market research applicable, accessible, and strategic with technical updates that allows your website to gain that visibility. Because when you think about website marketing, yes, it's all about showing up online, being relevant, having a platform. You have a business card. Here you go. Click it, scan it. You're in. You're able to, leave a message, do anything you want to do, which is great. But when it comes to SEO marketing, those are the things that change everything that you're creating. Because now what you're doing is that you're laying the playing field. And now you're creating sustainable online presence that's going to help you get results that are going to be consistent and will help you also improve on your visibility by the fact that you're creating a presence online with web marketing, which is still your website. So when you think about content, SEO, PPC, these are the things that we talk about. SEO is search engine optimization. PPC is pay per click. So all these are different things that you have to think about as a business. So as a business owner, your focus should be to look at it from the perspective of how am I creating business for today and what am I doing for tomorrow? So before I go any further, I'd love to see if anyone has any question, and I'll put it in the chat, and I'll go on mute for a few seconds. Okay, I don't see any questions. So if you have a question, please put in the chat. Okay, this is great information. Unique says, I don't have any questions, but this is great information. Love it. Thank you. Yes, please, if you do have any questions, just raise your hand or put in the chat. I'll be happy to respond. So it's definitely important to look at your website, not just as a domain or as a platform or as a link or as a place that you just store information and you go. Look at it as your intellectual property. Look at it like your identity card. Look at it like your brand. Look at it like a way that you can ask someone and say, if you were to see this, what would you think about it? Like if you were to see yourself, what would you say about yourself? And Emma says, I really like the topic. Thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you. It's so big because marketing is so intense. It can get very, what's the word I'm looking for? It can get very complicated, for lack of a better word, because when there are so many moving parts, there's so much that you have to focus on, and then you kind of like lose focus on everything at once. So the best way to look at it is, target your audience, get to know exactly how it works. The best way to do it is by getting to know what your audience is looking for. And how do you find out? Go online. Go to AI, go to ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, DeepSeek, Grok. Go to all of them that are out there that are available and ask and say, this is my business, this is my persona, this is who I target, this is what I like to talk about. What would I do and what would I say? Just start there, at least start somewhere. And then when you see that, you're like, okay, maybe I can refine it. Maybe I can make it better. Maybe this is an idea, because everything AI is doing is giving you an idea to kick off something. It's like a jetpack. Before you had to, start it yourself, you had to kick it, you had to, take your time to like process. Now it's doing the processing for you. Now you're processing at a high level because you have a much larger capacity to build because of the time you have available to sustain it. So when you think about these things, it's very important to think about target marketing as a business. Now, target audience is important and feedback loops are important too. Now, website marketing is important because when you have a website, your website should have certain components that should be very available to the market, right? For example, if you're going to a store and that store does not have a signpost or doesn't have any sign on the building, and that's the store you're supposed to go into, I don't think you're gonna go into that store. Or if you go into that store, you'll be thinking about it a little bit more than normally you would, because you already know that this is a store. So why am I seeing a different type of store that's not the store I go to every time I go to the store? So you start thinking about that differently because of the way it's been marketed to you consistently, right? So when you think about marketing, there are very specific things that need to be there. For example, think about your website that would have a pop-up or would have an inline, let's say, sign-up form. Those are things that can really help you gain more access. Welcome, Valerie. So when people are coming to your website and they're signing up, appreciate the love. When people come up to your website, they check in, they click through, and they sign up. They sign up for a reason. They're not signing up because you get to sign up, you get to sign up, you can sign up, you can sign up. No, it's about, I'm here because there's something that made sense to me and I want to learn more about it because I want to make sense of it. So you're creating an experience. And that's why when you have a website and you don't have a pop-up on your website, that's a big missed opportunity. Valerie says, King Favour. Thank you, Queen Valerie. Appreciate you. There's so much that you can do with your business. Welcome, Shay. You can do so much with your business that when you have a website and people are able to leave their contact information, it makes sense. For me, I don't know who made this rule. I'm gonna say this right now. I just thought about this and I want to just talk about this, especially because we build websites, we scale them, we audit them. And in my mind, sometimes I'm just like, this is interesting. I don't understand why most websites, and this is a majority of them, would have email signups at the very end of their websites. It's not a wrong place to put it, but if I was to put a heat map on your website and I see the amount of visitors that's come to your website on a daily basis, or a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, and 80% of them don't reach 50% of the page, you've lost 50% at least of conversions that could have happened by just switching it from being at the very bottom to the very top, or somewhere on the top that someone can read. Or have a pop-up. If you don't like pop-ups, at least have it at the top of the feed. So when your pages are getting that attention, it's retention there. If you've gone to a store before, they'll say, hey, good morning, welcome. That's because they want you to know you're welcome. Like, you should feel welcome, like feel at home. That welcome is a warm gesture, right? So when you have a website and people are expressing themselves based on how they're clicking, viewing, because they don't know what they're going to expect. They're going to click here and then something pops up on their page. If they don't like what they see, they're going to click out of it. If they like what they see, they're going to be like, interesting. Let me look at this. Let me do something here and then I'll be back. Or they can bookmark it. So website marketing is heavy, and that's based on delivery. So when you have a target market and you're able to understand your audience and have a feedback loop, all the traffic that you're getting, because your website marketing is technically traffic. I don't think you want to have a website that has no traffic, right? You want to have a website that is generating traffic. And how do you generate traffic? By kickstarting the engine. And how do you kickstart the engine? By creating content. And how do you create content? By building links. And how do you build links? By publishing posts. And what posts are those? Blogs, landing pages, sign-up forms. Those are specific pages. If you want to go e-commerce, they're product pages, they're policy pages, right? They're about pages. They're specific pages that you can add there that will allow your website to also tell the context of your brand. So website marketing is not just about how it looks, because it can look pretty on the outside, but it may not be as pretty on the inside. And we don't want that. We want to have pretty on the outside, pretty on the inside. We want to have something that is balanced, right? We want to have something that is making sense. And that also gives you peace of mind, right? It's just a great thing to look at. And even character-wise, I know 1 Samuel 16 also talks about that with character. So you look at character as a result of a thought. I heard that somewhere. I think it was on Instagram. It's somebody I follow, and he talks about it very specifically. Character will, and I'm paraphrasing because when I hear something, I summarize and I apply it to my thought, so I'll be able to know how to apply it to my actions. And I thought about what he said and I was like, this makes sense to me, because when I think about character, it's a thought, right? And a thought is from words, and what words you feed yourselves, because we are what we eat. So if you have a character, or you have a characteristic, right? What is happening is that is coming from a word, a message, a thought that was processed. So if I know that you sell warm cookies, and I know that these are, chocolate chip cookies, then I know that I'm gonna always look for chocolate chip cookies near me, and I'll find you there, because I know that you sell them warm, and I know that you sell them frequently. So how will I know that? Is because you have a page on your site that talks about that specifically, right? And when you have an image, Because when you think about a website, it's not just text. It's image, it's video, and it's text, right? So when you're hearing website marketing and anything I'm saying, don't just think about a website link. Think about the components, the elements of the website. So that involves the text, the audio, the video, the graphic, right? The image. So when you think about the images that are now coming in, the videos that are coming in, the audios that are coming in, the text that's coming in, all that is called multimedia formatting, right? So if there are different multimedia formats, there's an MP3, there's an MP4, there's a JPEG, there's a PDF, there's all kinds of things that you have to think about, right? Now, these extensions tell the engines what this product, quote unquote, is supposed to do. So if you have a blog and your blog is supposed to drive traffic or generate traffic and build awareness, then that means that your link is going to be accessible and indexed on a platform like Google. So when you do this as a business, as a website, you're able to really retain your marketing and you're able to really build on what you create, because when people are searching for things online, they're searching based on times and seasons. We're able to scale back to between 24 months through about at least 5 years. And just scale back and say, okay, if we're looking at this 5 years ago, and then we maybe push it back a little bit to like 10 years ago and see, okay, where did this begin and how did this start? Majorly, if you think about Google, right? Google has been there for years. So if you're able to do research and understand that every year there's a specific amount of search that is done for a specific reason, like Valentine's is going to be here in February. Christmas is about to be here in a week. My birthday is about to be here in a week. It's the day after Christmas. After that, we have a new year. Then we're going to have Valentine's. Then we're going to have Easter. We're going to have another event. Before you know, we're back to December 2026, God willing. So we're going to have this every time. So every year we have something specific that is happening. And this specific thing that's happening is a reaction from the feeling that somebody's having when they're experiencing something in real time. So that real time is now. As we speak, people are searching for things now. Christmas gift ideas. Some people have planned these ideas for a while. They've gone on Pinterest, they've gone on TikTok, they've gone on Amazon, they've gone in person, they've done their research, and now they know what they want to get for whoever they want to get it for. So that is because they took time to build it and they're able to learn from what they got. So that gave them time to process. Even when you run ads, you don't just run ads and start making money right off the bat. You don't just post SEO content and get money off the bat. No, it's a machine. That's why it's called machine learning. Machine learning. That's websites. Because when you're learning from a machine, what is in that machine is what it carries, right? So if it carries content, if it carries context, and what's that context? Images, links, PDFs, which could be document pages, it could be product pages, images, it could be text, alt text, alternative text for images. It could be anything that's going to be a component that's going to support the query or the inquiry. So either way you're going to put it, there's going to be a way that your website is going to pop up as a result because you have that query in your inventory. And where's your inventory? Your website. Because you can have 1,000 links on your website, and these 1,000 links are serving people. And one link can serve 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people, because one website is just a website. But imagine you having a website, and then you have a web page, and then you have a web link on a web server. That is a super website, and that's your website included. It's just how do you work your machine, right? You've heard this before. It's not about what you have, it's about how you use what you have, right? We all have, God has given us amazing brains, amazing hands, amazing minds, amazing things. We're geniuses. We just have to tap into it and get the best out of what we tap into. So when you have a website, your website is going to be that platform that people are going to use to find your content credible and to find it relevant, right? That's where that consistency comes in. And that starts building from the beginning, that you start building your target audience. So target audience is very important, and feedback loops is important too. The next thing is also to localize your content. That's a very important thing to do. Welcome, Bets. I see you have a party hat. Welcome to Clubhouse. Just wanted to say that because we are on the app, and this is a marketing club, and I've been on this app for 5 years now, 5 years and a month. So it's been exciting to be on this app and just share a lot of great knowledge and great, stories of amazing people like you. So this is something that I really want you to know about localizing your content when you have a website, and how it's different from website marketing and SEO marketing. I'll give you a quick scenario. If you want to, let's say you want to sell a product, right? Let's put in the chat. Let's role play. In the chat, I'll pick the first 2 responses. You can put in the chat, what would you want to sell? Let's say this Christmas. Let's be more specific with the season, right? Because every search happens every month. So when the season of giving, it's a Christmas season, it's by the end of the year. What would you be selling as a business? Put it in the chat. I'd love to see this. What would you be saying that, okay, this is what I'm selling as a business. This is what I have as a product. This is what I have to give. And this is what people want specifically. Okay, so MS says Christmas gift bags. Okay, I'll need one more. Thank you for that feedback. I'm going to have that in mind. So that is what I really sell. Okay. That's very good, because I really want this to make sense. I don't want it to be hypothetical. So that's why I wanted to ask us as well. So thank you for that, MS. I'm going to handle that. And then Valerie says CBD products. Okay. Be more specific as well, so I can know how, when it comes to searching, because when people are searching for things, they are very specific. So it's I would say it's semi-specific right now, because I understand where the parameters are. But if you maybe add one more word, that will also help as well, or maybe 3 to 5, but no pressure. But I'm able to I want to get the right thing that you would want to sell specifically from there. Like, let's say you have a product line and you have 3 products you want to sell. Here's your top products. Okay, there we go. So CBD body oil, sunscreens. All right, perfect. So this is helpful, because you see how that changed? When you hear CBD products, you're like, okay, I don't know what product to sell or what product to give. Now, the consumer is already confused. So I don't know what to even give back, to you as my feedback. But because you've now done body oils and sunscreens, it changed everything. So thank you for that, Valerie. So I'm going to do MS and Valerie. So we'll start off with Christmas gift bags. Now, you just beat me to it, because I was going to ask you what was in those bags. So I'm glad that you caught me. You beat me to it. Yes, coffee mugs, socks, scented candles, and hand sanitizer. This is nice. Okay. So we're going to really make sure we make this happen today. So if you're available, please let me know. I'd love to hear more, because I want us to have, a good conversation about this as well. So MS, and if you're available, please, let's talk about this, because it will really help me to learn more. Hey, MS. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here.
Hey, how are you? I remember you, John Wiley, and you were in John Wiley.
Yes, shout out to John Wiley.
Yes.
Somebody that's listening to you now that has seen that and wants to know more about it, what would you tell them in a minute?
So in a minute, hi everyone. I sell gift bags, curated gift bags that I created with all the essentials that you would need. There are 4 items: a scented candle, socks, coffee mug, and hand sanitizer. These are all essentials that you would need on a daily, and they're Christmas themed. So they're great for last minute shoppers, your child's teacher, um, caregivers, your moms, your your father, your children, your older. I'll say older children. But they make great. I'll say stocking stuffers because the size fits in a stocking. And so the price right now for mine is basically, and by the way, mine is all occasions, all holidays. I rebranded my business, by the way. So the retail price is $20, and now it's on sale for $15. And they wrap them up in a beautiful bag, very clear, with the bow and all the pretty toppings. And yeah. And I have a website too. And the name of my business is Curated Gifts by Miss Erica.
Okay.
I gotta work better on I'm not a salesman. But yeah.
Loved it. This was natural. And Valerie, thank you for that applause. Yes, that was very natural, and that's what we want to hear. Yes, and Valerie agrees too, and I'm sure other people as well agree, because how you presented it is in a way that you could let somebody know more about it, because as you kept talking about it, you were creating less questions to come back to you. So that's usually a really great way to factor in when people are listening or connecting or trying to understand the product, because now I understand, because I was going to ask you about that and I'm like, okay, it's Christmas. What's going to happen in January? What's going to happen in February? But now that you've made it seasonal, that lets me know, okay, on your website, you would have seasonal content that would be also giving people feedback so that they're also able to learn more about your product in a much larger component, in a much larger way. So now when I think about your products and I'm thinking about the different Christmas gift bags that somebody's looking for online, there's so many options that they could choose from, right? Because now you have a website and they're curated and people want to find, let's say curated gift ideas. Now, it's based on that research I mentioned earlier that's going to help us determine the kind of people that are looking for these things. Now, I'll ask two more questions because there's one that's specific and another one that's a little broad, because I want to be able to get to the picture. But the specific one I want to ask first is, are your products one-time or subscription-based?
They are not subscription-based, but they are one-time. So each season.
In each season, what is your communication like throughout the seasons?
So again, I just rebranded my business. I started off with breast cancer care packages, which I'm still going to be doing that, but I'll be doing donations. So I just took the business and moved it up, scaled it up and decided to do, which is something I always wanted to do, was the gift bag business. So with different products for different graduations, Valentine's. So basically I just started basically about a month ago in November. So but come December, the end of December, I'll start getting all the Valentine's Day stuff together and getting ready to post that and sell that. So and I do have a website. I'm with Webador. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but my site is up. But I will be honest, I'm still working through that, and I get the people looking, they're viewing my page, but no one's buying anything. However, locally, people are buying. I advertise, I bring my products already wrapped and everything, and I promote. I notice locally it's working. Online, it's not.
Okay. Let me ask this question too, because this is going to help a lot. The fact that you're getting sales in person means that the product is not the problem. that's at least a stated fact. That's a known fact now. As we know, it's selling because people love it and people want it and people have access to it in person. Now online, people have a completely different experience when it comes to these things. And when you mentioned seasonal, every time you kept talking about it, all I was thinking in my head was email marketing, sign up for the season. What day is this? What month is this? Giving people, tips, ideas, things that they can do with the bags, products they can put in their mugs. If they like coffee, what kind of coffee? It just goes deep because now you're going beyond. And there are two types of purchases. There's a pre-purchase and there's a post-purchase. So what I was just discussing now was more of a post-purchase because that's what people are going to be thinking about using when they have what they've purchased. So when you're giving them those experiences, and let's say you make a sale in person and you give them a QR code that they can scan back to your website so that they can sign up and get a percentage off or free shipping, then that way they can be able to get more. And that's a redeemable coupon that has a time sensitive value in it. So people don't just get coupons and leave. They know that, okay, if I don't use this in 30 days, then it's going to expire. So when you're sending out emails, you're using that as a way to create more responsibility for them to come back. So all I'm talking about is things that we can do on a call, we can do in strategy, we can do in implementation. But I'm also mentioning this because we can talk about it all day, but when it's getting to the doing part, that's when the real analysis, the real testing, the real evaluation begins. So that's why I was thinking about this. And that also led me to my broad question that I wanted to ask secondly is, who's your target audience?
Oh wow, that's good. It's not everybody, but of course adults. I'm seeing middle age. Maybe like 40s, 50s, 30s, a little young. But more middle age, 40s, 50s, or 45, 50, 60 age range, and lots of women.
Okay. So if I think about this now, when would they be shopping or what type of downtime would you be thinking they would have as an avatar?
Downtime they would have? I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand.
Their schedule, and that that's their audience, and maybe let's say they have kids or they have work and they're planning out their day, as that avatar to look like. I won't say exactly, but when it comes to a range, what would that look like when you think about their day and how they would want to put you in their plan?
I don't know. Think about that.
Okay. No, this is good because I want this to be, something that I'll call this a brainstorming session, because this will also help you to see it, in a way that would also bring back that influence of desire for them to want to sign up. Because if they sign up and they get a much better experience where they would have to spend less, both in time and money, meaning that they don't have to drive somewhere and they don't have to spend as much as they would if they went out, that's where that difference can apply.
I'm going to admit something in front of everybody in this room, and I feel stupid, but I was doing that to just get customers in, right? Even ChatGPT said, you shouldn't have did that. But I understand. You was trying to get customers. Yes, I go to ChatGPT. He is the GOAT. But I started off with $10. And people were buying left and right. I mean, I made like what, $200, pretty much. And yeah, but then I realized I'm not making a profit, and so I knocked the price and I brought it back up. ChatGPT said $20, but you could go down $5. But it'd be better to go at $20. But my thing is, people, yeah. But I went up to $5 and just charged it for around $15. So
Okay. Now you got me thinking about something because we're looking at web marketing and website marketing itself. What social media platform would you say, or do you actually use for engagement website wise?
website wise, definitely Instagram. Nah, that ain't gonna work. Um, but I was doing Facebook. I also started with Constant Contact for email marketing. I just started with them. You ever heard of them? Constant Contact?
Yes, I've been with Constant Contact. I've actually had a journey with email marketing. Funny that you mentioned that because even John Wiley, we talked about it when it comes to Amazing Guy. We talked about Constant Contact, and that's what he was using, and I've used it myself. I started off with MailChimp, and I moved to Constant Contact, and then I discovered in my podcast journey, that was back in 2019, 2020, I discovered Flowdesk, and now I'm a partner at Flowdesk, and it's amazing. Even John moved over to Flowdesk because it's much simpler. You save more on money. We've had clients that spend at least $120 a month on Constant Contact because they have tens of thousands of email addresses. Now they're spending less than $300 a year on the same account, but on a different platform like Flowdesk. So because of those things, it helps you save on your overhead costs. And we can talk about this and, look at the system. But I know when you mentioned that online sales are not coming in, I can already pinpoint before even looking at the website to know what could be happening. But I can also do a visual report and show you. So on screen, you can now decide and say, okay, what would be my next steps so that I can also maximize and buy my time back.
Yeah, I do need an audit on my website. I'll be honest. Like I said, I'm still working with the website. So, and because I'm working, like I'm at work as we speak. So after this, I can't even talk any longer. But I do want to maybe reach out to you. But I'm not giving up because I like what I do, and I just want to really reach that audience because everything is set. The platform's straight. But again, I know there's some things that could be that I could work on and evolve. So yeah, but I'm gonna get back to work. But I'm still listening.
Okay, thank you so much. And I would say this too, click the link above because this link right above will take you to where you can get emails. I usually send out emails and connect with people, and you can put your first name, best email, and you'll be redirected as well after you sign up to my calendar where we can have a conversation and talk about it between 30 to 45 minutes and get to understand it. And once you submit the calendar request based on your availability and time, then I'll be able to look at what you filled in and then use the website that you put in the form for me to now use as an audit, so that when we get on a call, you've already looked through the audit I sent you as a video, so we can maximize the time and discuss on strategies that will help you save time, save money, save energy, and these things that will really help you scale forward, because you have a website and you're still paying for your domain, you're still paying for your hosting. So I want to make sure that as you're paying for these overhead costs and for these assets, it's also building, because year over year, when your website gets more and more availability and also visibility online, you're able to use that to get more credibility because you've been in business for a longer threshold of time. So definitely would love to talk to you about that, Miss Erica. And thank you so much for that amazing feedback, because we need these gifts.
Yes, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for this room.
Oh, welcome anytime. Mo, what's going on? You said yo in the chat. You like to say something to Miss Erica or to the people in the room? Welcome to the room.
No. I just got in late. I heard something about some products. I guess she's product based business for her website. But just give me a brief recap, and then I could drop some flavor if you need me to.
Yeah, I would actually say it this way. When you think about products, and I'll also use, what Valerie talked about too, because she mentioned, CBD products and specifically CBD body oils and sunscreens. Now, those are very specific keywords. And when people are looking for body oils, I know that would make a huge difference, in how somebody's going to search for body oils. So they'll think about their skin, allergies, they'll think about, reactions, they'll think about things that will make sure that they're not getting the wrong product. So if somebody's going to get that, they're going to have so many questions. And now when it comes to copy on a website, that is going to be targeted at a message that's going to help somebody make a decision, what would you tell that person, Mo? And for Valerie, it was CBD products, CBD body oils and sunscreens. For Miss Erica, it was Christmas gift bags with like coffee mugs, socks, scented candles, and hand sanitizer.
So the first thing I'm gonna tell everybody is what I always tell all my clients, right? Facts tell, stories sell. Right. So if you're giving all the facts about your product, you're not going to sell it. Right. You got to tell the story. Right. You got to tell the story of how good everybody's going to feel once they get this CBD oil onto their skin. Right. Don't just say, oh, we got all natural products. So does you and everybody else. Right. Or, hey, our product is specially formulated for easy absorption into melanated skin. Right? Boom. Right? How good this candle is going to smell while you're sitting in your bathtub, got the candle lit, reading a good book. Right? So, start painting those pictures, and incorporate those keywords into it. Right? Our scent filled candles, they might last 50, 60 hours or whatever, but one whiff, and you can just feel the stress of your day melting away, right? Things like that, like little small details like that, and so when you put those in the product descriptions, that's where the SEO is going to bring them straight to that product versus everybody else. And then once they get there and they read the story that goes with it, it makes that purchase a little bit easier. So I'll go ahead and close the mic with that.
Thank you, Mo. And you've always said this too. Your voice is your invoice. And what you say, and biblically too, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So when you speak out and you say things, the things you say are going to have a type of reaction or response. And that's also going to play a big role in how things are going to be said and received. So when you mentioned this as well, like you talked about the scented candles, people like different scents, right? Some people like fruity scents, spicy scents, wood scents. It could be all type of scents. So when you now start writing content and building pillars and clusters, as you mentioned, and you're showing people how these things can be used, or how do you use our scented candles in your bathroom? You can give them 5 options. You can put it here, 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 you can put it here. And by the time they're reading that, they're like, oh yeah, I need bathroom essentials and I need to buy something because I went to my friend's house and I figured that this would be nice to put as decoration for their bathroom. Now they're online looking for that because locally you have a product that is connected back to their search. And that's a great way to connect back because like you mentioned too with content more, the more you're able to give more context about your product and what it does, the more somebody is like, yeah, I want that. As opposed to saying, okay, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. You wouldn't remember the first 3 things I said by the time I told you the 10th thing. So it's just a way of being more concise with your messaging and also being precise with their timing. And that's a big role that really plays into how you're connecting with people. Right now, we're doing a test with a client, and this is something that I'm super excited about. And it's something that I'm just looking at. I'm like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. We've spent $30. Let me just say this real quick. We've spent $30 on testing this, and we've started. Today is what, the 16th? Okay, so we started around the 10th. Yeah, around the 10th or so. And we've just been, running a commercial on YouTube specifically because she has a podcast. This is just, I'm talking about website marketing right now. This is like a quick live case study of what's going on with a client. And she has a podcast, she has YouTube, and she has email list. She has, she has a great online space. Now, one of the things that we're trying to make sure that we can do is increase the number of watch hours, because she already has thousands of, subscribers. But at the same time, when you have content, people like content based on different times of the year. So she's more of like DJ style, music style, content style. So it's really exciting to see how it blends into music, sports, and other things. So we started realizing that, okay, people are here to the point where we realized that she has comments on videos that people left 4 years ago and she's not responded to them. I told her, here, this is your bank right now. Have you ever heard of a word bank? This is your word bank, because after these words are responded to 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year, the last one was 10 hours ago. And that was about 4 hours ago we had our call. So when I told her and I was like, this is what's going on, she's like, what? I was like, yeah, all this. If you reply to all these messages, they will all come back and watch more videos. And that's going to increase your watch hours. And she's already at like borderline 50-60%. So by the time she hits 100%, she's monetizing that. Right now we're running an ad and we've gotten about 56. Last time I checked this morning, we've gotten 56 new subscribers on her YouTube with $30. So when we have a budget of 100, so I said, okay, if we're going to use $100 to test, let's see what we get after this $100. Are we going to get more subscribers than we purchased? Meaning, are we going to get 101 plus subscribers than $100 that we spent? That's the goal. And right now we're already at 56 subscribers at $30. So the math is mathing. So when we start doing these things, we're not doing it because we want to get to a destination. We're testing because when we spend more money or when we spend more time sending emails or whatever it is, podcast episodes, we're more specific. And that's website marketing, because we're using youtube.com to run PPC ads to a channel that's gaining more subscribers. So when we do that, we're able to make that more visible and we're able to make that more applicable. There's another client that they sell amazing products. They have an in-store location in over about 5-6 locations in the US, and they're doing amazingly well. When they started, they have a website, it's working, but they were not generating traffic because most of their traffic was coming from a different source. So now they're able to use that source and compound on the resource with their website now involved, because they have thousands of pages that were never seen on the internet when it comes to website marketing, right? Topic for today. And now SEO wise, we've been able to articulate exactly what types of content that they should be able to receive. And now they're getting to tens of thousands of receivers and visitors on their site, and they're doing well. They're making that happen, and it's growing to the point where you can look at a graph of a 90-day graph and you're like, okay, we started here in day 1 and day 90 we're here. And that means by day 180, we're going to be here. By day 360, we're going to be here. By day 365, we're going to be here. So we can predict the efforts. So website marketing is not guesswork where we just post 5 reels a day because we want to make a statement. The goal is to make sure that anything you're posting has an evergreen compatibility attached to it. And that involves creating consistency by building that online. And we use websites, their websites. We don't do social media and post on social media every day. We used to do that, but that's available. But we focus heavily on how do you represent yourself with your website, and then if you have social media to support it, how can we strategically make sure that it's applicable? Another company we're working with, they having something to do with targeting. They have great source of traffic. They have millions of pages on their website, but there's tens of millions of pages that are not being seen. How do you get those tens of millions of pages to be seen? Those are big problems. Those are big challenges. And they're big wins too, because those things allow us to understand the root of the problem. And now we can justify why things happen the way they do. Every time a client comes to us and we connect with them and we build with them, it's always a great adventure because I learn more from them than they learn from me. We learn from them more than they learn from us. So it's a community because we're able to understand what people are looking for and how they're able to disseminate that. So marketing can be hard, it can be sophisticated, it can be stressful, but just like Mo said too, just be intentional. Let people know exactly what they're searching for. Start off with a question. If I met you today and I don't know you, I'm going to say, hey, I like your dress. Oh, hey, you smell good. Oh, what's your name? Okay, my name is. Those are two questions, or rather a statement and a question, or you've brought a desire and an action because you've created a call to response. So when you now think about the formatting of how you're able to connect with people with one message, with two messages, with three messages, then the more they're getting those messages, the more they know that they actually need to hear more from you. So if those conversations make sense, of course. If they don't, they don't. So it's very important to look at it as well. Mo, I want to ask you this as well. When you're sending out emails, this is going to be a tricky one. I want to see your answer to this one. When you send out emails, what would you prefer to send out more of? And I think the keyword is more of: shorter emails or longer emails?
I'm actually a longer email, because for me, it's also a qualifier, right? Because, right, it, if they go through it, then it's more of a, for me, it's a better indicator of their purchase intent, right? If they're just, it takes them 30 seconds to read or whatever, they're not really invested in it. But if they took, like a 400 word email, I mean, that's only going to take me 30 seconds, a minute at the most, right? Whereas a 1,000 word email, like 1,200 words, that's going to invest me a little bit more time. So that means that I kept their attention if they read longer and followed the steps, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm always a long copy guy.
Me too. I would do more long copy at a longer stretch because I have a longer feedback loop over a longer period of time. Because if somebody can't read the whole text in one sitting, they could come back the next week and the other week and the other week. And when you send out those emails and they're very specific and they handle matters, it helps a lot of people. And feedback is the best currency you can ever get for your business. That's the best thing I can say for any business, anywhere, anytime, anyhow. Feedback is the best currency you can get for your business, whether it's through analytics, conversions, and traffic, reports. It's feedback. Surveys, quizzes, anything is going to be a big deal to have that in the mix. So when you think about this long term as a business, majorly you're looking at this as a business and asking yourself, okay, how am I going to show up online and who am I going to show up for? Do I have an app? Do I have a website? How does this app connect with this website? How does this podcast connect with this website? How does this book connect with this website? How does this video or text connect to this website? So there are very many things that we have to think about as a business. And there's one thing I wanted to keep towards the end. And if you're listening to this, click the link above so you don't miss out on this and leave your contact information. And I'll be able to send you emails that you'll be able to see that will help you understand more concepts visually. Because I like to also share, visual images that you can be able to see and understand what is being discussed, whether through audio or through text. Now, as a website builder or as a website owner or as a website business page, whatever you want to call it, your business is going to be so vital when it comes to the setup of your technical flow. This is what I mean. When you have a website and your website loads slowly, that's a red flag, because that red flag is going to sound like this. And when somebody goes through that, like what you just heard now is you shouldn't be hearing that every time, because your ears are going to start hurting, and that's bad for the ears, right? Because you don't want to hear that all the time. That's because it's a signal, it's a caution, it's a sound, it's a frequency, right? Now, if you do that and you translate that sound that you just heard, translate that sound to what somebody is hearing when they read your message. Is it making noise? Or is it making sense? That's going to be a huge parameter that you're going to have to see over time. And how does that work by testing. You'd have to test, you'd have to send emails, you have to send copy, you have to send messages and see how that resonates with people. Now, the major important thing to factor here is also your technical setup. So if your website loads slowly, it means that you have something wrong with your plugins, just like your phone. If your phone or your computer loads slowly and you're trying to open up an app and it's taking forever, it's because your RAM is probably choked up, or maybe your hardware, your storage is not, it's probably over capacity or close to that, because now you're not able to function at full capacity. So when you start looking in between the lines and asking yourself, how am I going to operate at full capacity without having any problems or defaults or defects? Then you have to think about your website with speed. Look at Amazon. Amazon is a fast website. If you go to Amazon.com right now, you will continue to be on that platform, because anytime you click somewhere, it's going to take you to the next page, the next page, the next page to the checkout. That's speed. Now, your website should do the same thing too. If your website is taking 10 seconds to load, then people have spent 10 seconds that they can't get back. And that's a problem for them and also for you, because for them, they won't trust that website anymore, because they'll keep coming back and they'll keep seeing the same experience, which experience leads to trust, right? If I give you a bad experience, then I don't really trust this product or service. But if I give you a good experience, the trust has been built because you've been ensuring it based on consistent feedback, which is through communication. Do you like this product? Oh, okay, I like the yellow one. Oh, okay, it smells nice. Oh, I like this taste. Okay, I prefer this to that. Okay, do you like it sweet? Do you like it sour? Do you like it bitter? Do you like it strong? Do you like it medium rare? Do you like it well done? Those questions, if they are not answered correctly or accurately, then there's going to be a problem and a breakdown. And that breakdown is going to be a mess. So you don't want to have that at all. That's why your website is so important. Copy is so important. When you have copy on your screen, people are reading those texts. I remember there was a time we were connecting a client to Pinterest, and we were working, and we still are working with Pinterest. And I remember very well that call that day. I was talking to the person that works at Pinterest, and we're trying to figure out what was going on with this client's website, because we didn't build a website. We took it from, where it was left from development stage. And we decided to now say, okay, let's build on this website. But I didn't know what was going on the policy pages. So we now decided to submit it. Come to find out that when Pinterest now went into the website and the engineers went through the scan, they realized that in one of their pages, just one, and it was literally just 2 words that messed the whole thing up, but was easily fixed. But 2 words, I think it was inflammable liquids or something like that. And the product itself, that was, I think, a dormant text or a mock-up text that was not supposed to be in the context of the policy page. So that was affecting the whole entire website from being created as a verified merchant on Pinterest. So when you think about this specific things, it's very important, because text and context is important. I always say this: content is king and context is queen. When content and context understand each other, you're going to have a very beautiful communication flow. And that starts off with understanding the emotional side, the logical side, the strategic side, the planning side, all the phases from start to finish, from ideation to completion. So that communication is big, and everyone communicates differently. But if you communicate in a way that you make somebody think about what they're hearing and they can picture what they're hearing, then that's going to make them feel some type of way. Just like when you listen to music, or when you listen to a poem, or you listen to a story, you listen to the context of it because the way you feel is because of what you are hearing. So it's very important. And Valerie, thank you for the applause. Yes, communication is definitely key. So your website, your marketing, it can look all great, fancy, you can look beautiful, you can wear all the makeup, you can look great, you can look dapper, you can look amazing, smell good, feel good, look good, you are good, you're a good person, yeah. But if your character is revealed and now that character is not what people thought it was, and now you're like, okay, what is going on? That's going to break something, and it's not going to be as exciting as it first was. And that's not what you want, because those type of experiences can be avoided, because you can really show up for who you are and let people know, hey, this is what we do, this is how we handle this. And with those kind of experiences, you're able to now know exactly where to draw the line, where to have the boundaries, where to create your experiences, what people can do, how to measure those things. And that way you're doing marketing in a much better and a much safer way. Because when you give people what they want, you end up giving them what they need. So start off by giving them what they want. What they want, I want to get this type of product. For Valerie, it's the CBD body oils, right? So if I'm going to do body oils, then I'm going to talk about different body oils for different body skin types or skin tones or skin pigments or skin reactions or skin products or skin something. Like when you put the word skin there, it's going to change so much, right? Even on Pinterest, when you put the word skin, that's the only word I know on Pinterest, unless there's another one I've not seen yet. But when you put the word skin on Pinterest, go type skin on Pinterest, it's going to give you the different shades. Just like when you do emojis and then you do like different emojis and different skin types, you can do the same thing on Pinterest. So the results you get back are based on the skin tones that you're reflecting from. So you can keep it default, you can keep it specific. It's really up to you. The choice is yours, but it's universal and it's definitely something that you can factor in. So when you think about your websites next time, think about the way your websites load. And that is also dependent on how your hosting is. If you're on GoDaddy, if you're on Bluehost, if you're on Hostinger, SiteGround, there are so many websites you can choose from. Choose one that is really good for you. Have a good hosting bandwidth so that when you start driving traffic, you can contain the traffic. The worst thing that can happen is for you to have traffic and all of a sudden people can't find you because when they click on your link, your website went on overload. That's going to be a problem. So when you look at the complexity of everything, these are some things to factor in. And when you start having a lot of pages and start having power pages, these are things to now look into. So I just wanted to make sure that you can understand this concept. Website marketing is great. You can do it for so many things, right? Digital marketing itself, email marketing, text marketing, billboard marketing. You can do those things on your canvas, which would be on your digital surfaces. But when you now take these websites and this marketing strategies to now SEO factors, you'll now be more tactical. Because if you think about website marketing, I would say website marketing is general and SEO marketing is tactical. Why did I say that? Website marketing is general because there are general topics of interest and there are different websites for different things, right? You can market different things everywhere, right? You can sell shoes today, you can sell socks tomorrow, you can sell scissors the next day, you can sell cakes the next day, you can sell oil the next day, you can sell pens the next day. So you can sell a lot of things on websites, right? That's really not the major factor. It's the emotional connection to that. So that's general, right? So when you think about the general terms of building websites and building intention for marketing, website marketing wise, when you have that general term, that general allows you to be more, I would say, broader with your influence. That's the word, influence, because the more you're able to show up on different websites, either you're being featured on a publication or a social media platform, or somebody cited you, or you got featured on a podcast, or you have your book on a platform, or somebody left a review on your testimonial board. Anything that you're creating is going to create that effect. That's a great way to start keeping people coming back. Welcome, Falake. So now when you start creating that intentionally, you're letting more people know that, okay, this is my general domain. This is what I focus on. Now, the specific side of it, when it now comes to tactical and strategy, is by creating specific SEO keyframes that will allow people to find you when they're looking for you and they see it first. This is what I mean. And I'll keep to the examples for the room today because I'll go back to the Christmas gift bags. If I now write in Christmas gift bags and I put a space bar, I'm actually going to do it right now. I'm going to do Christmas. I'm going to Google Christmas gift bags and I put space. All right. So now I get about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've not even hit enter yet. And I've gotten 10 results from Google search because Google has suggested Christmas gift bags bulk, Christmas gift bags ideas, Christmas gift bags Amazon, Christmas gift bags large, Christmas gift bags with drawstring, that's very specific, Christmas gift bags for kids, Christmas gift bags Walmart, Christmas gift bags zipper design, and Christmas gift bags on sale. Now, because I've gotten those 10 options have already given me 10 things to talk about, including the main word Christmas gift bags, defining it, what is it about, what does it entail, and now we've covered that. Now, if I do CBD body oils, I just want to give you guys a live example. There we go, CBD body oils. I hope I said it correctly. Yes, CBD body oils. I put a space bar. I also get different results. I get CBD body oils, CBD body oil for pain, CBD body oil benefits, CBD body oil nearby, CBD oil body oil Prima, CBD body oil Amazon, CBD body oil Grown Alchemist, CBD body oil massage, and CBD body oil Reddit. Now, those are completely different results from Christmas gift ideas. I've not even hit enter on Google. All I'm looking at is the suggestions I'm getting. That enough in itself is website marketing. What I've just displayed right now is website marketing. You take the words that you want to use, and before you hit enter on any search bar, look at the results and see what those results are, because that is an auto completion of what the search engines are frequently asking or being resulted to being answered as a base of activity. So if you're able to do that, it will change. And Valerie says they work wonders. My CBD oils are from Jamaica. You see, now that's very specific. People are like, oh, I want to get that. Now, when you have those in your text, it changes the context, because your content now is telling us, okay, this is it. And now your context is talking about, what it performs with or what it delivers. So it definitely changes the tone and changes everything about it. So I love that you mentioned this, and it helps. If you talk about, for pain, there's back pain, there's chest pain, there's neck pain, there's all types of pain that you can address in different components that by the time you look back at 52 weeks in a year, you have way more than enough to talk about. That the next year that comes, you can talk about the same thing in a different way, and you have something to say that you said before the last time, because you're building a track record online, which is equals your website marketing. And because you apply SEO, and what I just showed you guys is SEO because it's search engine optimization. I'm going to take those 10 words and I'm going to turn those 10 words into 10 articles. I'll turn those 10 articles into 10 blogs or 10 newsletters, or even better, 10 podcasts, 10 quotes, 10 topics, 10. Before you know it, you have about 10 to 50 media assets ready for launch because you've talked about one topic. So if you're able to look at it from that perspective, I know it sounds like a lot, but if you really just break it down and say, what do I want to discuss? I'll take this one topic, answer it, take the next topic, answer it, take the next topic, answer it, put it on a website, send it through an email, send it back. That's going to send waves. Because what's really happening on the technical side of things is that your website is being operated on a server. There are different records, and I'm going to do a room about this called, DNS. I'm going to dive deep into DNS. I know it's going to be a very technical room, but I have to do it because if everybody wants to know about this, or if anybody at all wants to understand it, at least I can be able to say, this is what it means. You can do your own research here and you can start from this point, because all these records are very important. When you send out emails and you're thinking about your email sends, it makes sense. I know, Miss Erica, you talked about constant contact. One of the reasons why I moved to Flowdesk and why Flowdesk is really well is that I was having problems with seeing open rates and click rates that were below the threshold that is supposed to be like bare minimum. It's supposed to be at a completely new standard, because when you look at the gold standard of the way people should be receiving emails, whatever the capacity is of their email list, there's a specific threshold that they should be having. And some platforms don't have that. And when I look at platforms, I also look at their technical setup. Why I love Flowdesk is because they partnered with Amazon SES, Simple Email Service. So that means if you're working with an Amazon server, then it means that you have a strong base, you have a strong network. So when I'm sending out emails, you have a much faster response on delivery.
So Flowdesk, I know with Constant Contact, they give you like the templates to put your products and stuff and then send the email out. Flowdesk does the same thing.
You said for products?
Yeah, it'll allow you to, they have many templates to choose from, to put into the email to send out to the customers.
Yes.
So is that what Flowdesk does?
Yes, Flowdesk definitely has that. It has great templates. You can do a lot of things like countdowns. You can do signups. You can create polls. It's a really great platform in itself, and you can have high, volume emails that can be sent at high frequencies.
How much does it cost? Now, that's not a CRM, right? I get that confused too. That's not a CRM. That's just a marketing setup, correct?
It's an email marketing platform that's used specifically for, sending emails at large volumes. But when you think about CRMs, this is always like a big discussion. HubSpot would be a CRM, Salesforce. You start thinking about like some CRMs in those regards when people start calling those out customer relationship management tools. But when I look at it from email marketing, I can still call it a CRM because it would still be something that you would use to build a relationship off of a tool that is going to have an intermediary between you and them. So Flowdesk is a great platform. They just rolled out their new standard tier pricing, and they have different prices right now, but I do have an affiliate link as a partner that you get 50% off your plan because you're able to save and you're also able to use the platform in a way that can create a huge difference in your marketing. When you port over all your contacts from Constant Contact to Flowdesk, which we've done for clients that moved from Aweber, from ConvertKit, which is now called Kit, from SendBlue, which is called Brevo now, to Flowdesk, to MailChimp, and the rest of them, I've just seen results because there's no one that has moved over that has moved back, not one. And all of them are really enjoying it because of the efficiency of the cost and also the efficiency of their delivery, because they don't want to have emails that bounce. So now on average, people are having, I think the lowest, would be about 15% open rates. People have up to 30%, 80% open rate because those emails are actually getting delivered. So the pricing, I know it used to be $19 a month when it first started, when I first got there. So now I know they've turned into a standard tier pricing. So I know right now they actually have it for free, $0 a month. That just gives you, access to the platform, but you don't send anything. But now you also have a light plan, which is at $19 a month for up to 1,000 subscribers. And then in the light plan, I think this is everything in free plus a maximum of 25,000 subscribers. So yeah, they've gone back into that pricing model, but it's a really cost-effective way of really looking at your numbers and your overhead costs too.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, this is all about, marketing, digital website building, and asset acquisition. Because if you don't have a website and it's not being seen, then the problem is not the product, the problem is the strategy. So if you're able to build this out and get this going, you can definitely see a lot of wonders by just connecting these things for yourself and for your business too.
And also, Favour, I also signed up for a meetup. So I don't know if you can see that in the back, but yeah.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it. Wow, you signed up on my birthday. So, that's interesting.
I'm sorry. I forgot.
Really okay. I'm really excited that you're going to be doing this and thinking about the future, because for me, what better way than to serve and to be of service, at a time like that. So I'm really open to, because that's why I'm spending time here. I love quality time, and that's something that I do. So of course, an hour, why not? 30 minutes, why not? So thank you so much. I appreciate that, Miss Erica. This is great, guys. And I'm really excited that we are, going to be doing this and building and creating more experiences like this. I feel like if you do this for yourself, for your business, you can go so far. You can go so far. You can go so far. And just think about where you're going and how you're going to do it. And if you do it correctly and do it with the right intention, you'll see results. And usually with SEO, what I've noticed with brands from small businesses to large businesses, from small websites to large websites, what I've seen consistently is patience. It's a time thing. You have to value time. You have to expand your time. You have to exchange your time, and you have to do it in a timely manner too. So these are the things that I love to talk about, and I want to make sure as you're seeing these things, it would help you as a business to grow and see it for yourself in a better way. And if you look at a 24-month timeline and you know that, okay, people like to come for my product or they look for my product in March, that means I need to start now so that by March, people are already ready. Think about it like fruits, right? If you want to eat a fruit at a certain time, you have to prepare it before the season so that you can eat it when the season is ripe. I mean, it's the same thing with SEO. I don't know if this made sense, but just create content that you can plan for ahead of time and know what the scale looks like when you scale it backwards, which is something that we can do. And when we scale it backwards and we're able to know that this happened around this time last year or this year before, then we know that by this time next year and the year after, we can predict something that is forecasted at a much better capacity than just guessing, because we work with numbers and we don't work with just guesses. So it's very helpful. And sometimes it can work for you. Sometimes it may be something we have to test through to see what works that would be better instead. And that's something that is enjoyable with marketing. You can never get it right the first time. Of course, you can do that. That's totally fine. There's so many ways that's possible. But even if you get it right the first time, there's going to be a next time you need to get it again, because people change, things change, time changes. And when processes are changing and the technology is changing and marketing is changing, you don't want to stay the same. Some people's websites are still saying 2021, 2022, 2023, and we're going to 2026. And it's there. It's not because that they forgot about it. It's just that it's not being looked into, or maybe it may not be a priority, or maybe that's not something that they noticed, which is not their fault either. But if they're able to look at that one detail, it's going to change a big difference, because that 2021 from 2025 is going to be a big reason why somebody will stay on your website for even 10 seconds longer, because you have something that has been updated in the system. When you update and you hit publish on your website every time, that publish turns your website into something called tokenization. This is what it means. I'll say it really quickly. When you publish your website and you send it off to whoever or whichever service, I'll call it Microsoft, Google, and the rest of them, you've connected it to those sites. When you hit publish, the day that they come to your website and crawl your website, which happens at a specific time, right? When they crawl your website and they pick it, that's a duplicate copy that they've taken from your original copy of your website. Now, if you don't change that copy, then the same copy that you've last submitted is going to be the same copy they're going to keep. In other words, if you don't change the copy frequently, then the next time they come to crawl and they see the same dormant page, they're going to probably keep it because there's no reason to rescan it. But when they see, there's a new page here, there's a new text here, that's going to raise a signal. And that signal that's going to be raised is going to allow the account to be scanned through, and it's processed, and it's green. When it's green, now you have a new version that somebody can see. You came yesterday, but now today is a different version. Now somebody's excited because there's something new to see. So using these type of quick tactics to really turn your page into current year content, that's going to help you to have evergreen content for a long time, because blogs have a shelf life of 24 months. So if you do the math and you think about all the blogs that you're seeing on your websites today or on google.com today, it makes sense, because from your website, Google themselves, they don't scan it every time. Google has a large data collection page. So if Google is going to pick your website and it picks the last thing that it remembers, then that last thing that it remembers needs to be the last thing that you remember too, because the last thing you remember should be the last update, which should be a recent update. So the more you're able to make it more recent, more relevant, and more consistent, then it will definitely work. Does anyone have any questions for me? before we go, I wanted to make sure that this was making sense. And if it's making sense and you understood everything or got something from the room, put a 1 in the chat. Please let me know by putting a 1 in the chat. Yes, Miss Erica.
I'm going to cancel Constant Contact. I'm going to do that today. I just started it. And the price that they're offering is $45.
Whoa. So, for how many subscribers?
I didn't even ask that part. It's unlimited.
Limited?
Yeah. But, yeah. It's unlimited. If I'm not mistaken, it's unlimited. But I just didn't because I was trying to call the guy that I originally spoke with. I emailed him, all that, and he just never responded back to me. So I was just like, you know what? I can't do business like this. So I'm glad you mentioned about Flowdesk. I'll try them out. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm rebranding, so, it's financially, it's a little, I'm starting from the bottom, working my way up. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely. No worries. This is very important to note because when you think about the aesthetics, especially the aesthetical setup of Constant Contact, it's nice. I like it, but Constant Contact and MailChimp, they quite give me the same thing because of the way they're set up, and you can't really go beyond the aesthetic of how you can build around it. But Flowdesk, you can do a lot with that. You can change a lot of things in there and you can make it very pleasantly aesthetic to the eye. So I'll send you my link and I'll put the link in the chat. Thank you for the ones, Valerie and Sunny. I appreciate that. This really helps. I'm going to put my link. Yeah, there we go. So I put the link to partners.flowdesk.com/we-don't-play. That's the link to access your 14-day free trial with Flowdesk. And then when it's time to choose your plan, I think it's going to be $19 from the start. For up to 25,000 subscribers, you get 50% off and you're good to go.
So just click that.
Yeah,
it'll take me to the site.
Yeah, just click that, take it to the site, and then I'll say sign up with your business email, the one that you'll be sending out emails to, your hello @ your support @ info @ or your name @ your website.com, so that when it's time to authenticate your domain like you have on Google, on Constant Contact, we can make sure everything is green so that we don't have any bounces.
Okay. Got it.
So thank you for Favour for your expertise. I appreciate you for being here. Valerie, Shay, Sunny, Austin, Shara or Chara, I hope I said it correctly. Please let me know which one it is. Natalia, Isaac, Wealthy, and Shirley, thank you for being here. Miss Erica, thank you for being here as well. To Mo Dub, I was here earlier. All of you are appreciated, and I really hope that you have learned something different, something new, and I'll bring more topics like this so we can, dive deeper into these things. But the next time you think about website marketing, digital marketing, just think about the components that will make that happen, whether it's a text or an email or an audio file or video file on a social media platform or an advertising platform. That's website marketing, because you're showing up on a website that either you control or you manage or you own. It's one of those three. And they happen sometimes subsequently or simultaneously. So it's very important to look at that as well. And then when you look at SEO marketing, think about the intention, how people search, what they search for, purchase-wise, pre-purchase-wise, post-purchase-wise, and also information-wise. So the more information you give someone, the more FAQs you drop, the more information and answers you give, the less questions they ask. And it's just better that way altogether. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. For those that love tacos, happy Taco Tuesday. And I hope to see you in the next room, in the next episode, in the next conversation. Thank you all for listening. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next room. Now, that was an episode, right? Thank you so much for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show. I'm so glad that you're here. and you are sticking tight with us, especially to the very end. Now, this is season 11, and we're going to do it differently. And I want to make sure that every episode you listen to has something to give back so that you can also learn more after you listen. Now, we don't play podcast shows where you listen, you live, you learn, and you earn. So if you're in any of those positions out of those 4, please make sure that you reach out to me. Send out an email through info@playinc.online. That's info@playinc.online. Or you could go to playinc.online, which is a website, www.playinc.online, playinc.online, and schedule a call so that we can get you on an SEO discovery call to talk about your business and help you with your marketing needs. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this helped you. See you in the next episode. God bless you. Jesus loves you.